Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
So Wrath Economy bringing this to our attention, not much, but Alvier has launched an embedded finance platform for cars. And as you guys may or may not know, Alvier uses Currency Cloud, which is a Ripple partner, for cross-border payments. I've noticed this, this push for cars now to be able to make payments. They're making cars smarter and smarter every single day, while Alvier, the leading global embedded finance technology platform, enabling any brand to offer a complete array of financial products and services to customers, fans, and employees, today announced that AutoPay Plus, an industry-leading automated loan payment service, is the first company to offer a unique value proposition to its dealership partners across the country. AutoPay Plus offers car buyers and other consumers flexible payment options matched to their paychecks, which leads to better budgeting, prevents late fees, and can accelerate the loan payoff. Since 2003, the company has enrolled more than 250,000 members and processed more than $5.65 billion in loan payments, primarily through the automotive industry and the company's long-term relationships with independent agents and dealerships nationwide. Working with its partnership, AutoPay Plus will provide car buyers enrolled in its automated loan program service with a prepaid promotional debit card that can be used exclusively at the selling dealership's service department. The new card also offers AutoPay Plus dealership partners the added advantage of a new dealer loyalty program. So this is what we're seeing now, more integration into this payment processing service for automobile buyers. AutoPay Plus is another example of how Alvier's embedded financial services platform can help brands, this is a quote, transform relationships with consumers from one-dimensional single events to continuous long-term, deep, value-driven connections. This coming from the co-founder and CEO of Alvier. Alvier expects to work with clients across the automotive landscape to offer a fast, time-to-market, easy path to delivering new financial services to existing as well as all new customers without any of the heavy lifting of being a financial service provider. And I can only imagine they can do this with the help of a Ripple-enabled company like Currency Cloud, as Wrath of Kahneman did mention here initially when tweeting this out. Cards can cross borders. Here's the Currency Cloud press release from last year. And so he also just posts this press release from Currency Cloud dated back from April last year, so almost a year ago. Alvier and Currency Cloud partner to provide multi-currency cross-border embedded financial solutions. Not going to get into this in detail, but I will link it in the description if you guys are interested. All facets of our lives are going to be integrated digitally. I mean, we have been seeing it slowly emerge, but I think, with emerging technologies like cryptocurrency, DLT, and of course with smartphones and all that, people, consumers, we all have these options at our disposal, and many are obviously adopting it. Many are still very resistant. Anonymous VIP saying, pay people from my car. It's like the 80s car phone, but better. This world is getting stranger and stranger, but cool nonetheless. Maybe a passenger can pay me in crypto. Wrath Economy responding, there seems to be a number of players trying to get into the auto pay while you charge game as well. So he also mentions Vodafone down here. And so just another article with regards to another company doing something similar. That does not have to do with Ripple or XRP. Nevertheless, Wrath of Kahneman, a great resource for a lot of information, very knowledgeable individual. Wanted to thank him for posting that. I also saw this with regards to Ripple partner Flutterwave. Now, salary on-demand startup Kadena, they've just teamed up with Flutterwave to expand into Nigeria. Kadena, a salary on-demand startup, has expanded operations into Nigeria following a strategic partnership with Ripple-enabled Flutterwave, Africa's leading payments technology company. Kadena helps businesses delight their employees by providing modern payroll platforms that allow employees access to their earned salary on demand anytime, anywhere. Following this partnership, Flutterwave processes payments for employers and employees on Kadena. Unexpected bills can leave employees in Africa in distress, distracting from their day-to-day activities. The alternative would be short-term loans, which could go up to 300% in interest rates. With unsuitable loan repayment systems, over 400 million workers in Africa will benefit from a platform that offers them real-time access to their earned wages following employer approval. So this is actually one of those times that I think paying with cryptocurrency, in this case, something that settles instantly, something Ripple-enabled, like Flutterwave, this type of company can help people really fill that gap. We've been used to getting paid, if you have a traditional employer, paid every 2 weeks. That I find is the standard and has been the standard for many, many years, many decades now. And the reason is because the paperwork is so cumbersome. I've heard Brad Garlinghouse actually talk about this. The reason we get paid every 2 weeks, I mean, you could get paid every day. You know, you clock in, you work your 8 hours, for example, and you get paid at the end of your shift. The reason that doesn't happen today, or at least not yet, is because the technology, you know, the paperwork, the back end, so many man hours to do that they figure, you know what, instead of doing this every single day or even every single week, let's do this every 2 weeks. Well, enter RippleNet, XRP, instant settlement, and Brad Garlinghouse, he used this example years ago now. He said, you know, you could realistically clock in for 30 minutes and get paid after that 30 minutes. If you make $15 an hour, let's say, or $20 an hour to make the math easy, you work for 30 minutes and you get paid your $10 instantly in your bank account. That's the beauty of RippleNet, XRP, and so this is kind of an extension to that, filling that gap. This is really going to have a negative effect on the money marts of the world, you know, those companies that loan money at high interest rates. If now employees can get paid more or less instantly, as opposed to having to wait 2 weeks for their paycheck. So I think this is going to be interesting. Of course, this is also happening in Africa, where there are many unbanked and underbanked populations. So interesting to see how this is going to develop. I want to keep moving, guys, because there's quite a bit today. Bright days ahead. Now, I know this came out a few days ago, but I wanted to mention it because I didn't talk about it in the videos that I did over the last few days. Tranglo enables XRP's ODL service across 25 payment corridors. This is big because we're going to start to see more demand for ODL. Blockchain service provider Ripple witnessed another development in its expansion of its on-demand ODL services. It collaborated with one of the leading cross-border payment firms in Asia, and of course they're talking about Tranglo here. Tranglo, a cross-border payment hub, enabled Ripple's ODL services across its 25 payment corridors. This would allow remittance providers to process instant cross-border payments without costly pre-funding. The Payment Hub announced this decision in a Twitter post, and this happened just the other day on March the 1st. We're thrilled to announce today that we've enabled Ripple's on-demand liquidity across all our payment corridors. This comes after a successful pilot of ODL deployment last September, which saw 250,000 transactions worth about $48 million processed in 100 days. So we knew Tranglo was working with Ripple. We know Ripple does have a 40% stake in Tranglo. So to me, it sounds like Tranglo is almost kind of like the new MoneyGram for Ripple, you know, using them, utilizing, leveraging the power of that company in order to really scale out ODL, in order to really kind of get a sense of how ODL is going to work. Here's a quote from Jackie Lee, CEO of Tranglo. Our remittance partners want to enter markets as fast as possible at the lowest cost. ODL offers just that. They can start sending payments without locking in funds at different financial intermediaries, which can be costly and time-consuming. Remittance businesses that sign up for ODL also gain access to both Tranglo Connect and RippleNet, allowing them to better meet their increasingly diverse payment needs. So 25 new ODL corridors. This is big for both Ripple and Tranglo, expanding the ecosystem, utilizing those exotic payment corridors, trialing them at one point and now realizing that there is a need, and so opening them up so that the people, the customers in those regions can start sending cross-border payments seamlessly with the help of a RippleNet-enabled solution, namely ODL. And so ODL transactions via Ripple's global financial network RippleNet originates from markets including Australia, Japan, Philippines, and Singapore, with other markets to follow. In fact, an XRP markets report published in January 2022, RippleNet service stood out. The overall transaction count on RippleNet increased substantially during the past 12 months. So they are seeing continual growth into 2022, and I think we are only going to see more growth from there. And growth is only happening because they have the clarity in that region of the world. I know Ripple has had to, ever since the lawsuit, Ripple has had to kind of pivot, but they are working on the US, and I have a feeling we are going to hear some good news come next month, maybe in May of 2022. I also just wanted to bring this to your attention, guys. This is a clip of Hester Peirce. This brought to us by Crypto Eddie here on Twitter. Hester wants the SEC flexibility and clarity with more clear markets. So here's what Hester Peirce had to say in a recent podcast. Two interesting points that I think we should keep in mind. Listen to this.
You know, I get the reluctance, right, to create new things, because what people say is, look, our securities laws have worked really well for so many years, so why do we need to change anything about it? And my response to that is, the reason the securities laws have worked well for so many years is because we have this ability to make exemptions and adjustments as needed over time. If we don't use that authority that we're given to do that, they're not going to work. And so I think that's kind of the situation we're in now. I'm saying I want flexibility, and other people are saying, no, we think you don't need to have any flexibility in this space. And so I've got to keep trying to persuade people. Well, I think what I'm looking for right now is just some clarity. I get asked so often, just please tell us what the rules are so we can comply with them. So I think one thing that would be great is just to provide some more clear markers. And I think we have the capacity to do that at the SEC. We have people who know the technology well and who can think about, here are some things at least people ought to be thinking about, areas where the securities laws might be implicated. At the end of the day, I would like to see us, again, to go back to what I was saying before, I would like to see us recognizing the importance of individuals' ability to make decisions for themselves, to choose how to spend their money. Those are kind of concepts that I would like to be more baked in. And so whatever crypto regulatory regime we end up with at the end of the day, I hope it does recognize that people are finding value in using crypto, and so let's not prevent them from using it.
No. Some market participants may call this regulation by enforcement. I just call it enforcement.
So an interesting dichotomy there. Hester wants SEC flexibility and clarity. You heard that in the first point. The fact of the matter is, the best regulation comes out of a flexible framework. We can't apply rules, 80-year-old rules to technology that has just come out within the last decade. It just does not make sense. And so Hester Peirce, pushing this point forward, the fact that we have flexibility has made for better regulatory clarity. And she also says we need clear markers, which we just don't have right now. I think Ripple can attest to that as well. Years and years of going to the SEC and other regulatory bodies saying, hey, what do we do in order to be regulatory compliant? Years and years of them getting no answer on it. Now they're in court, and now they're fighting to the bitter end. Well, Hester Peirce, although she is a commissioner at the SEC, not hiding behind the SEC's talking points that they have just kind of put forth over the last several years now. She is speaking out. She is saying, no, we need the clarity. We haven't given the cryptocurrency industry enough clarity. And so, people should be able to do what they want with their money. That is her perspective. Wanted to thank Crypto Eddie for posting that. And then there's this, guys. Again, I'm going to pivot a little bit. This from PRX here on Twitter. This a tweet from Mr. Poole. And the difference between this tweet and a lot of the other tweets that we have seen from Mr. Poole, if you guys have noticed, is that this one is very, very direct. Just the word prepare. Posted just yesterday, March the 2nd, 2022, late last night at about 11:45 p.m. So Mr. Poole's tweets in the past have been very cryptic. Almost like riddles, getting us to kind of guess what he means by his tweets. This one, though, very, very different, which begs the question, what should we be preparing for? Is it something positive or is it something negative? Now, I know many of us in the XRP community, we always want to think, prepare for something good because XRP is going to moon. We should be ready for that. We should have our targets picked out. And, even if it goes above our targets, we should, take some profits off the table because that's the best thing to do. We don't want to get caught with our pants down if all of a sudden the market crashes. So I wanted to go over a couple of things that maybe Mr. Poole means by the word prepare. XRP Boy down here saying it's a direct message, so we are very, very near to that possible XRP price spike. Pacho Muchacho down here saying if we don't know what to prepare for, this is an open, ambiguous, and meaningless statement. And this is why I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I think we should be preparing for. ASM Future down here saying my top 3 best guesses: crypto market boom explosion, cyber warfare, cyber pandemic, 3 more popcorn. Worst case scenario, says SJ, crypto moons, pick a coin, people become rich, and then the reset occurs. People get locked out of their bank accounts only to discover the government has robbed them. Can't make this crap up. So an interesting tweet here. I will link this thread in the description for you guys if you want to read further. So some of the things that I've noticed right now, and we know, I just did a video this morning. If you guys didn't catch it, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. There is this idea that the Ripple lawsuit is likely going to settle very, very soon. The latest timeline, April, May, perhaps, 2022, so within the next several weeks. This could definitely have an effect on the XRP price. Of course, many of us have been waiting for this day. We are already formulating what is looking like that bullish pennant pattern. XRP, even just zoomed out here, poised for that huge blow off top. It's making the Nike swoosh pattern, has been trending upward ever since March 2020. we are finding this support level holding, so higher lows. We did recently see, back last year in and around this time, we did recently see a localized top. So not an all-time high, but a localized top near the $2 mark. Right now, as of the time of this recording, XRP trading at 76.6. So yes, of course, we are poised for this blow-off top. You know, right now we're trading off low volume. You can only imagine when we get that high volume in there, the kick up in price for XRP. And so there's this one thing that could be very, very positive for XRP price. And so, you know, just this idea, not to get caught off guard. Remember too, if you guys were not here during the last bull run, it only took 3 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks for XRP price to go from about 20 cents, and right now it's trading 3 times higher than that, let me remind you, from 22, 23 cents all the way to all-time high at over $3.32. So that was an increase, at that time, that was an increase of roughly 1,350%, give or take, and that happened in 3 weeks. So again, if you do not have your ducks in a row, you might be caught off guard when this price shoots up once XRP has that clarity. So it begs the question, are we to prepare for this, or is it something else that we should be preparing for? Is there something else we should be paying attention to? Dictator Know-It-All posting this. This should be shared everywhere. Ignoring it won't change anything or make it go away. When push comes to shove, governments will react and everyone in crypto will be hurt. National security will come first. You can bet your life on it. And he's retweeting out a tweet that he posted a couple of days ago. This is what will push governments to ban Bitcoin, and they have the power to do it. Once those on and off rails are turned off, it's worthless. It's just code and nothing more. So go ahead, push to undermine sanctions rhetoric, see what happens. And so he is talking about what is going on with the sanctions to Russia. US Treasury adds crypto rules to Russia sanctions. Now, if you think that this is only happening in Russia and that it does not affect you, you might want to think more closely about this. You might want to think about first putting your cryptocurrency into cold storage, like a Ledger Nano S or X or something similar. I do have an affiliate link for the Ledger products in the description of the video. You can use it if you want. If you're still looking for a cold storage solution, the fact of the matter is your keys, your crypto. So if on and off ramps get blocked, or if you're blocked from your exchange, you at least won't have your cryptocurrency on the exchange and you can take it elsewhere to cash out. So here's the gist of this. The US government has said crypto exchanges shouldn't facilitate transactions for individuals or entities that have been recently added to a sanctions list, including some Russian oligarchs or entities, this coming from CoinDesk. It is a part of a campaign to punish Russia for its recent invasion of the Ukraine, and the new rules will take effect on Tuesday, March the 1st. Here's a quote: all property and interests in property that are in the United States that hereafter come within the United States, or that are hereafter come within the possession or control of any United States person of the following persons are blocked and may not be transferred, paid, exported, withdrawn, or otherwise dealt in. What they are ultimately saying here, and guys, it's not just happening in the United States. There are regulations being pushed through right now, even in countries like Canada, and I'm sure many other countries around the world, where they are really taking a hard stance, and they're using the guise of the Russia sanctions in order to regulate cryptocurrency. Not so much regulate, but in order to nip them in the bud, nipping those on and off ramps in the bud, so that if they do not deem you acceptable, I mean, they're saying that this is for sanctions against Russia right now, but if they're putting in these rules, ultimately what that means is that they can do this with anybody. So deceptive or structured transactions, whatever they deem, quote, deceptive or structured transactions, or dealings to circumvent any United States sanctions, including through the use of digital currencies or assets, or the use of physical assets. This coming from this document. So they are using the excuse of the Russia invasion on the Ukraine in order to say us as a government have the right to seize, freeze, whatever they want to do with your cryptocurrency, and if those on-ramps and off-ramps are squeezed out, what are you going to do? Perhaps why Mr. Poole is telling us to prepare for the worst. Okay, well, what are your options, guys? Have alternatives available to you. Maybe look into other countries that will allow you to withdraw your cryptocurrency. Or another possibility, maybe once you have reached your targets, cash out into USDC or something similar, a stablecoin that has been regulated, and wait it out. Wait it out until something changes or until you can find another solution. Again, this is definitely not financial advice. These are just some options. prepare. So in the wake of this, we are also seeing this kind of thing happen. DJ Peter Vass bringing this to our attention. Binance, okay? Binance CEO is rejecting Russian user ban. So crypto exchange boss rejects Russian user ban. The boss of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange has ruled out restricting ordinary Russians from using the service. So they were told, do not let any Russians utilize the Binance service. And Binance founder and CEO Changpeng Zhao, he told BBC Radio 4, many normal Russians do not agree with the war. So major cryptocurrency exchanges have been asked by Ukraine to block Russian users. One financial expert warned the war could become a crypto conflict. In a tweet sent on Sunday, Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov asked major cryptocurrency exchanges to block the addresses of ordinary Russian users, not just politicians. So guys, this is getting really, really dicey. Changpeng Zhao is against the block because, let's not forget, many people in Russia, just ordinary citizens, are likely not for the war. So why would you block them from exchanging their cryptocurrency? Again, don't think it can't happen here. So this article just going on, giving us some more information about what's going on, but just to the point of it, Changpeng Zhao is saying, no, I'm not going to block Russians trading cryptocurrency on the Binance exchange. Another thing we should be paying attention to, and this is kind of somewhere in the middle of the positive and the negative, XRP Crypto Wolf posting this. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says there's room for multiple reserve currencies. So we're hearing this now. This article talks a little bit about CBDCs, talks about how they want to prevent using cryptocurrencies for terrorist activity, sure. Although there has been massive pushback from other lawmakers, the US has been remarkably slow in its plans to launch a CBDC. Last week, Powell stated that with the dollar serving as the world's reserve currency, it was important that a digital dollar is gotten right, hence the lethargy. However, Powell has admitted that other currencies, including cryptocurrencies, may emerge as global reserve currencies going by current happening. So he's taking a look, it sounds like, at the state of affairs, and he is saying, you know what? There could be other currencies that become world reserve currencies. This war, I think, took a lot of us by surprise, maybe not some of us. And so there is a lot going on. Countries pushing for cryptocurrency emergency regulatory sanction-ish rules, I think I want to say. We've also got the SEC lawsuit coming very, very close to settling. Jerome Powell also stating, you know what? There is likely going to be a cryptocurrency that will be one of the world reserve currencies. And so, as Mr. Poole states it here, prepare. Not as cryptic as some of his last tweets, a very, very direct message from Mr. Poole himself, posted just yesterday.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.